Yo, guys, what's up? It's me once again. Making another video here. This video I'm going to talk about is Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. The Elimination Chamber was this past Sunday. As a whole, the pay-per-view was kind of eh. The only saving grace is for me coming out of that pay-per-view was Orton and Luke Harper match, which I thought was excellent. Excuse me. And the chamber match itself, I thought the booking was good. Most notably, the seeds that have been planted within the chamber match itself, I think, and coming out of it, going forward, I thought was smart. It was smart booking with that chamber match. Because coming out of that match, the seeds were planted for Baron Corbin, Dean Ambrose, John Cena, and quite possibly Miz. With the rumored, mixed tag match between those two and their lovers at Mania. So yeah, and also obviously Bray Wyatt being the WWE champion and Orton Royal Rumble winner. So you got a lot of things kind of being set up from that chamber match moving forward, going into WrestleMania, which I thought was brilliant booking on WWE's part. But the fairy tale, I guess you could say, or the happy ending, is that Bray Wyatt is finally WWE champion. This past Tuesday on SmackDown, Randy Orton had kind of pretty much said that he pledged his allegiance to Wyatt and he will not invoke his rights as the Royal Rumble winner and face Wyatt for the title. So next Tuesday, we're going to get like a battle royal to crown a new number one contender. A lot of people are speculating it may be, or are predicting that it may be Luke Harper, and that this could somehow end up as a triple threat. Instead of being a one-on-one, it ends up being a triple threat. Randy's still turning on the Wyatt family, but again, it turns into a triple threat instead of a one-on-one. I can agree with this, and I can see this happening as well. I think Luke Harper has been doing a fantastic job. My thing is, though, Bray Wyatt being WWE champion, and, it kind of all goes back to Randy Orton winning the Rumble. And, were people okay with Randy winning the Rumble match? And does Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt really sell you as a top main event match for the World Championship? I think that's the top, really the meat and potatoes of this topic or this discussion. Does it really sell you? For some people, they don't mind. For others, they kind of scratch their heads. Me, I'm kind of in between. I'm glad Bray Wyatt is WWE champion. I think Bray should have been WWE champion 2 years ago, in my opinion. But it is what it is. I think one of the reasons why Bray Wyatt's being WWE champion probably doesn't feel that big of a moment, or that it doesn't feel as exciting as it should be, is probably because of the stop and go pushes that Bray Wyatt has had over the last 4 or 5 years. He's been up on the main roster. Let's be honest, WWE has mishandled Bray Wyatt greatly in a lot of ways. With the exception of Dean Ambrose, you could argue that Bray Wyatt was probably WWE's biggest loser, in the sense that they always put Bray Wyatt in, big marquee matches, only for him to lose them. And then they'll just kind of put him on the show for a while, and then they'll try to reheat him a little bit just to try to give him some credibility, only so that they can throw him into another feud with another big part-time wrestler and throw him in another big program, and he loses that match again. And I think through a constant stop and go push with Bray Wyatt, as well as some of Bray's nagging injuries, which kind of put a halt maybe on some of his momentum and push, and probably in the back of WWE's mind, that probably warned them to maybe not push Bray as hard, because they weren't as sure how physically reliable can Bray be with him getting injured here and there, when it seemed like he was on the cusp of going a little bit further. But regardless of all those cases, I think that's really what kind of, like I said, instead of you just being like, whoo, yeah, Bray's WWE champion finally at last, it's just kind of like, okay, Bray Wyatt's WWE champion. I'm happy. That's awesome. It's like striking when the iron's not really hot, It's like Bray has been so lukewarm for so long that now that they decide to do it, which again, it's fine, it's okay, it's a fresh face, it's WWE champion, it's a fresh, rivalry and program, and a storyline that has truly been building and they've been molding since October. What's that? Yeah, October of 2016. So, it's got all the right ingredients and it's got the right players, to be a WrestleMania match and, WrestleMania match for the WWE title. But when you have one of the two players that you are putting in this program, when they've kind of been, mediocre or, lukewarm in terms of their push and your handling of them, it's kind of hard to take, this feud and make it a bigger deal than what it should be, instead of feeling like, okay, this could be the main event to close out WrestleMania. It's like, okay, this may be a big match, but instead of being the one that closes out the show, it feels like it may be the second to third main event on the card. That's how it feels. Not necessarily a bad thing, but again, not necessarily the greatest thing either, especially considering that Bray Wyatt, to me, could have been so much more. And probably still can be. I don't think it's too late for Bray Wyatt. I'm not saying that, the damage is done with Bray Wyatt. Maybe, him being on SmackDown, which they seem to grasp a better understanding of their roster and the characters and the cast of characters that they have. Maybe being on SmackDown will be of some help to Bray, and it can refuel Bray and give him some heat and some fire that he lost over those last years of WWE just mishandling and just misbooking the guy. But all in all, like I said, I am glad that he is WWE champion. I do think the feud between him and Orton is going to happen. And, some people that say, oh, I thought Orton's going to, turn on him. You got to figure, we have Fastlane, even though that's a Raw exclusive pay-per-view. You have the Fastlane pay-per-view, which is still a little bit, a couple of weeks out, about 3 weeks maybe going a little bit under, almost 2 weeks now. And we got about 7 weeks left until WrestleMania. So it's going to be some time before Randy flips the switch and turns on Bray. Give it some time, people. This is a storyline that has been building. Started off kind of strange, having Orton join the Wyatt family at first, but it started to work, and it still does work, and him doing the whole thing where he pledges his allegiance to Bray, and he's not going to take advantage of his Royal Rumble rights and privileges to face Wyatt for the championship. It's something different. It's something new. I'm not complaining about it. And again, we have a fresh face as world champion being Bray, and someone that I'm a fan of. And it's a fresh feud going into WrestleMania. And again, and thirdly, it's a storyline that they've been building since October. So it's a story that feels natural, that doesn't feel rushed or forced. It feels like a natural progression, a natural storyline that has been told over some time, and it's just building and building to be set up at WrestleMania. Now, whether Randy wins, I don't know. I think Randy may win it because I'm pretty confident and sure of myself. I would love to be a fly on the wall, but I'm pretty sure that Randy Orton was probably guaranteed a Royal Rumble victory and a WWE title run at WrestleMania, winning the title at WrestleMania and moving forward as champion if he, was to take those bloody shots from Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. There's no rumor out there. There's no news site that's out there. That's just my personal humble belief and opinion. I think Randy Orton was promised hey, if you bleed out like a stuffed out pig for against Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, 4 or 5 months later, we guarantee you're going to win the Royal Rumble and you're going to headline WrestleMania and win the world title. I just think that was a promise for Randy. So hopefully Bray doesn't become a transitional champion where he just only holds the belt for 7 weeks until Mania, drops it to Orton, and then who knows where they go from there. So we'll see. But as for right now, I'm enjoying what they're doing. And these are just my thoughts and opinions of Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton going into it. And Bray being WWE champion. But regardless, glad he's champion. And again, I really hope they build him as the next Undertaker. Because to me, I think Bray has that potential. His character is just that out there and that different and that dark. That he could be like this generation's Undertaker. So I want to do you guys' thoughts and opinions. Do you agree, disagree with my opinions on this whole Bray Wyatt being WWE champion, their feud? Are you guys' thoughts in the box below? Do yourself a favor, hit that like button and subscribe. Peace.